In this next exercise, brief exercise 20-5, we're going to work on the denominator, and that is the number of shares outstanding. Now, in this, we use the weighted average shares outstanding. So if you have a share that is issued for the entire year, then that share gets a 1. But let's say you issue a share in July. Well, that's only half a year, so each share would only count for half. Now, why is that? Because when you issue shares, you acquire assets for those shares, generally speaking. And so you would have more. If you issue shares or if you reduce shares through treasury shares, you would have more shares or less shares outstanding. Therefore, you would have more or less assets to work with. And so it's the earnings per share that we look at when we're looking at companies. So in brief exercise 20-5, we have Elmwood Excavation Consultants began the current year with 30,000 shares outstanding. It issued an additional 15,000 shares and 18,000 shares on March 1st and August 1st, respectively. The company also purchased 3,000 shares of treasury stock on November 1st. The firm's year end is December 31st. Based on this information, determine the number of common shares outstanding, the weighted average number of common shares throughout the year. So, on this one, we're going to get the 30,000 shares, the ones that were issued all year, times 1. That's going to be 30,000 on that. And then next up, we have 15,000 shares. And that was issued on March 1st. So January, February. So 2 months are not available. So we're going to multiply that times 10, the number of months available, divided by 12, the number of months in a year. And so when we do that, 15 times 10 twelfths or 5/6, we get 12,500. All right, our next one up is the 18,000 shares. And those shares were issued on August 1st. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So 7 months are not there for these 18,000 shares. So we're going to actually have them available for 5, right? So that would be all of August, September, October, November, December. So 5 months that they are available. And when we multiply 18,000 by 5/12, we get 7,500. And then finally, we buy 3,000 treasury shares, and that is done on November 1st. So that's going to be 2,000. But remember, with treasury shares, that's going to be a negative, right? Times 2, November, December, 12ths, 1/6. And that would be a negative 500 shares. And so when we add that all up, we get 49,500, and that would be the weighted average shares outstanding for the year. All right, so that is a brief exercise 20-5.